Well, hello there everyone. It's been a while since I've done a recent finds video. I'm excited to show you some things I've acquired, probably, I guess over the last maybe a week, probably a month. I was going to say 4 weeks, so that's a month. A couple different things, some non-CD stuff, music of all sorts. I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm not going to make this too long. The first thing, and I did a kind of a rant video about this, it is Michael Nesmith, from a radio engine to the photon wing, and I got this at a consignment shop in a nearby town, and the vinyl's in beautiful shape. I'm not going to show it. Sometimes people aren't that interested in the vinyl. I'm not always that interested in the labels, but just to show you what I've got. Beautiful looking record. I was happy to get it. I've got it on CD, just not on vinyl. And that was the album in question of a rant video that I did a few videos ago. I think I called it I Have a Bone to Pick, so you can check that out. And that same day, I also bought for less than $10 a beautiful copy of The Pretender by Jackson Browne. Just one of his classic era albums. Of course, it has The Pretender on it. Here Come Those Tears Again, Your Bright Baby Blues, The Fuse. It's just got some great stuff on it. Jackson Browne, I'm really getting into him. I'm supposed to be seeing him in August with James Taylor, and I'm excited to, hopefully, fingers crossed, that concert happens. I was supposed to see him last summer, but of course COVID took over. And then finally, in terms of like non-CDs, I picked this up the other day at a CVS. I was out to pick up a prescription. This is the Life magazine tribute to Bob Dylan for his 80th. There's a new intro. Talks about Bob Dylan's whole life, from like his folky years to his electric period to, you know, right up to the present day. Just got some great pictures of Bob in there, plugging in. And you know, if you're a fan of Dylan, you should check it out. It's just got some great photos and great articles. There's Dylan when he was with Pete Seeger, traveling to rural Mississippi. Yeah, this is really cool. I've been reading it. I haven't quite finished it yet. I'm over halfway done with it, but it was a cool find to celebrate Bobby's 80th. And while I mention that, if you haven't already, check out Glenn Kellaway from The Basement. He has his channel. We did a recent countdown of our 80 favorite Bob Dylan songs. We started with number 80 and worked our way down to number 1. So he's got them all over his channel. Check it out. And kind of a segue to that, I guess, and I've done a video on this as well. I've already shown this in a separate video, but I'll show it briefly again. This is the new Mickey Dolenz Dolan Sings Nesmith CD, which we just did a video together of our ranking of the top 20 the top 20 Monkees album. I can't talk. 20 Monkee songs that we both love. Just separate lists. Talked about our love of the Monkees. So check out his channel in general. And so yeah, that kind of segues into some of my CDs. At that same record store where I bought the Nesmith and Jackson Browne, I got Enlightenment by Van Morrison. It was like $2 or $3. And I didn't have this one on CD. Van's stuff, a lot of his stuff is out of print. So I was happy to get that. It's got some great songs. The title track is great. Real, Real Gone. Avalon of the Heart is beautiful. Youth of a Thousand Summers. It's a great album. Van's got some great stuff. I love Van. Alrighty, this is probably the earliest of these items that I've picked up. This is a album called Look Park. It's the self-titled and right now only album of the group of the same name, when in reality, when I say the group, it's really essentially the solo album of Chris Collingwood from Fountains of Wayne. He was the lead singer. This came out in 2016 on Yep Rock Records, and it's just got some great stuff. If you like Fountains of Wayne or like, you know, jangle pop and that sort of thing, I mean, it's right there with Fountains of Wayne's best stuff. So check out Look Park. I bought it on Amazon. I don't think you can find it in stores, but it was, you know, $11. So check out Look Park. Really good. I had a birthday back in May, and my sister kind of got this for me on a whim. Strange Trails by Lord Huron. They're an indie band. Really unique sound, kind of ethereal, their vocals are kind of back in the mix, where like the instruments kind of take control. But it's got some great stuff. There's kind of some mixes of like indie, folk. There's some even a little bit of rockabilly on this. So if you don't know Lord Huron, definitely start with this album, Strange Trails. And she bought it for me. You know, I knew the big song on here was Fool for Love, and I really the big song was called The Night We Met, which was the last song. It was in some TV shows and a couple movies, but it's really good. I mean, the album cover itself kind of shows you like what kind of album it is. It's very woody. It sounds like you're outdoors. It's just really cool. And along the outdoorsy vein, I've just recently gotten into a duo out of North Carolina called Mandolin Orange. They're out of Chapel Hill, husband and wife duo. Very folky, very. I mean, there's obviously some bluegrass influence, but most of their stuff is ballad type. I don't know. This is also on Yep Rock Records, the same as the Look Park album. But their whole catalog is really good. I've really started getting into them. They're just great listening background music. But there's some really good lyrics on here too. One song in particular called Suspended in Heaven, which he wrote about the death of his mother and just about her passing on and kind of his feelings toward that. So that's probably the most bluegrassy. I think he even admitted he wanted to write a Stanley Brothers tune, and so he wrote Suspended in Heaven. So check out, it's called Tides of a Teardrop. It's their most recent album. They're actually technically it's their last album as Mandolin Orange. They actually just changed their name to Watch House, and I've heard the 2 singles from their new album coming up, and it's the same kind of vein. They just wanted a different identity. So Tides of a Teardrop by Mandolin Orange, check it out. Alright, this is one that I found. I live near a spot, well, it's about an hour and a half from me. If you know bluegrass music, you might have heard of Floyd, Virginia. Floyd, Virginia, there's a famous general store up there where they have like, it's a big bluegrass community. It's an artsy community, but it's up on a mountain, and like I said, it's an hour and a half for me to get there. But they have like Friday night jamborees at this country store. Some big names have been there. I mean, Molly Tuttle, Ketch Secor. You know, they've gotten some big names, and it's just a tiny little store, and people pack in, and when they sell out the tickets, they're done. But there's a record store across the street that only sells bluegrass and country. Well, really bluegrass, old-timey music. And this is an album I've been waiting to buy for a long time. It's Tim O'Brien. Sings it's called Red on Blonde. And it's Tim O'Brien singing Bob Dylan tunes, and a lot of them aren't really well known Bob Dylan tunes, like Senor, Farewell Angelina, The Wicked Messenger, Father of Night, Everything is Broken, Man Gave Name to All the Animals. I mean, he's got some of the greatest hits, like Dylan hits. He's got Subterranean Homesick Blues, Forever Young, Maggie's Farm, Masters of War. So those are on here, but it's bluegrass Dylan songs, and Tim O'Brien's fantastic. So check out Red on Blonde. I'm happy to get that one. And at that same store, I'll move to this. They had a lot of Tony Rice. If you don't know Tony Rice, check him out. This is him with Norman Blake. Is one of his several duets albums that he did with different musicians. He did 2 with Norman Blake. He had one a few years later called Blake and Rice 2. Some great old standard songs on here. Some traditional stuff like New River Train. Let's see. I'm Not Saying, New Chance Blues, I'm Coming Back But I Don't Know When. It's just great stuff. It's just the 2 of them, no additional instrumentation. So check that out. Check out Tony Rice. Really great progressive bluegrass picker on guitar. Alrighty, the next is an album I just got into a few weeks ago. I listened to Austin City Limits on PBS, and this gentleman and his band, Lucas Nelson and Promise of the Real, were playing. Of course, he's Willie Nelson's son. Great, like, southern rock style music, and he sounds a lot like Willie. So check that out. Lucas Nelson and Promise of the Real. It's their self-titled. Next is another kind of indie, folky guy, Brett Dennen, and his album Loverboy, which came out in 2011. I love the song Sydney, I'll Come Running, back when I was in high school, or if not younger, and then Come Back Kid. It's just some really good, it's just fun, upbeat music. Kind of Jack Johnson meets a little bit of early Van Morrison, like Wild Night style Van Morrison. So check that out, Loverboy by Brett Dennen. I got it really cheap on Amazon. And then finally, this just came in yesterday. This is a John Prine tribute called Broken Hearts and Dirty Windows, where artists sing John Prine tunes, including Bon Iver, Conor Oberst, My Morning Jacket, Justin Townes Earle, Old Crow Medicine Show, Avett Brothers. So check out Broken Hearts and Dirty Windows. I know there's a second volume coming out soon on Oh Boy Records. But yeah, that's what I've got. How many of those do you know? Do you have them all? Let me know what your thoughts are, and I'm happy to show them to you. Take care.